I'm about to take you on a journey back through time. Not beneath the waves this time, but across the land itself. Imagine a world before humans, where the continents belonged to beasts of unimaginable size and ferocity. A world where the ground trembled beneath claws and survival meant either being predator or prey. These were not the gentle giants of fairy tales. These were monsters, forged by nature's most brutal laws. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss more unbelievable true stories and terrifying facts from our planet's ancient past. Let's begin the countdown. 1. Giganotosaurus, the southern king of terror. When most people think of giant predators, the first name that comes to mind is Tyrannosaurus rex. But deep in the prehistoric lands of South America, there roamed a predator even longer than T-Rex, Giganotosaurus. It lived around 98 million years ago, and its name means giant southern lizard. Measuring over 40 feet long and weighing up to 8 tons, it was one of the largest land carnivores ever to walk the earth. Unlike T-Rex, which had thick jaws designed for crushing bone, Giganotosaurus had a narrower skull filled with serrated, blade-like teeth built for slicing flesh. It didn't just bite, it carved. Each bite tore massive strips from its prey, allowing it to bleed out quickly. Scientists believe its preferred targets were enormous herbivores like Argentinosaurus, creatures that could reach lengths of over 100 feet. Hunting such giants wasn't for the faint of heart. Some fossil evidence suggests that Giganotosaurus may have hunted in groups, although this remains debated. If true, imagine a pack of these monsters coordinating to bring down a creature the size of a skyscraper. Even alone, it was a force of destruction. Its stride was long, its vision sharp, and its reflexes fast enough to catch fleeing prey. The plains of ancient Patagonia would have been a nightmare landscape, with the ground shaking beneath the feet of a creature whose only rival was the king of the north, T-Rex. And while they never met in real life, if they had, the earth itself might have quaked beneath their clash. 2. Tyrannosaurus rex, the undisputed king. No discussion of land-based terrors is complete without mentioning the most famous of them all, Tyrannosaurus rex, the tyrant lizard king. It lived around 68 to 66 million years ago in what is now North America during the twilight of the dinosaur age. T-Rex stood over 12 feet tall at the hips and stretched more than 40 feet from nose to tail. Its skull alone was nearly 5 feet long, housing 60 serrated teeth that could reach 12 inches in length. But what made it truly terrifying wasn't just its size, it was its power. Scientists estimate its bite force at more than 12,000 pounds per square inch, capable of crushing bone like dry twigs. No animal before or since has had a bite this powerful. It hunted large herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus, often ambushing them with an explosive burst of speed. Fossilized bones of prey show puncture marks where T-Rex's teeth broke through the bone and left signs of healing. Meanwhile, some victims actually survived an attack, at least for a while. Its keen sense of smell could detect carcasses from miles away, allowing it to scavenge when needed. Whether hunter or scavenger, one thing is certain: everything on land feared it. T-Rex was not just a predator, it was nature's weapon of perfection. When it roared, the world listened. Smilodon, the real saber-toothed killer. Fast forward millions of years, long after the dinosaurs had vanished, a new apex predator ruled the land. Smilodon fatalis, better known as the saber-toothed cat. It roamed North and South America during the Pleistocene epoch between 2.5 million and 10,000 years ago. With its muscular build and massive fangs, Smilodon looked like a cat designed by a nightmare. It weighed up to 900 pounds and could deliver a killing bite with its 7-inch long saber teeth. But, contrary to popular belief, those fangs weren't built for stabbing. They were precision tools designed to slice through flesh in a single deadly motion. Smilodon likely hunted large mammals such as bison, camels and young mammoths. It may have ambushed its prey from cover, leaping with powerful forelimbs to knock them down before going for the throat. Unlike today's lions or tigers, which rely on suffocation, Smilodon's strike would have been fast and surgical, cutting arteries and veins to bring instant death. Its fossils are often found in tar pits where these predators may have been trapped while feeding on already caught prey. To imagine ancient Los Angeles with mammoths struggling in the tar while saber-toothed cats circle and roared above is to glimpse a world where even land itself seemed treacherous. When you look at those long fangs today, they still speak of raw power, of a time when the king of beasts didn't have a mane, but daggers for teeth. Gigantopithecus, the giant ape of legend. Now, imagine walking through a forest 2 million years ago in Southeast Asia. The air is thick, humid, and alive with sound. Suddenly, you hear a branch snap above you. And there it is. Gigantopithecus. Standing up to 10 feet tall and weighing as much as 1,200 pounds, this colossal ape was the largest primate ever to exist. It was likely related to modern orangutans, but it would have dwarfed even the biggest silverback gorilla. Its jaws were massive, built for crushing bamboo and tough vegetation, though some scientists believe it may have scavenged when food was scarce. Fossils of its teeth and jaws reveal an animal of immense strength and endurance. Some legends, such as the Himalayan Yeti or the Chinese Yeren, may have their origins in ancient encounters or memories of this creature. If Gigantopithecus survived even a little longer than scientists think, it could have easily overlapped with early humans. Picture early Homo erectus armed with nothing but stone tools, stumbling across one of these towering beasts in the twilight jungle. The silence, the staring eyes, the realization that you were not the only intelligent creature on Earth. Gigantopithecus may have disappeared 300,000 years ago, but in many cultures, the stories of giant hairy men in the forest have never faded. Perhaps those tales are echoes from the deep past when humanity wasn't at the top of the food chain. Arthropleura, the nightmare centipede. Before dinosaurs ever walked the Earth, the Carboniferous forests of 300 million years ago were home to something far stranger and arguably more terrifying: Arthropleura. Imagine a centipede the length of a car, stretching nearly 9 feet long and almost 2 feet wide, with armour-plated segments that clattered as it crawled across the forest floor. It wasn't a predator like the creatures that came after, but its sheer size made it horrifying. Arthropleura likely fed on rotting plant matter, using its powerful mandibles to crush decaying leaves, yet to smaller animals of its time, it would have been a moving fortress. The reason it could grow so large lies in the atmosphere of its era. Oxygen levels were nearly 50% higher than today, allowing giant insects and arthropods to thrive. The forests were dense with ferns, massive horse trails and towering trees. Every shadow could have hidden something crawling, slithering, or fluttering that defied imagination. If Arthropleura existed today, it would dominate nightmares and headlines alike. Fossilized trackways show it moving across mud like a tank, leaving behind grooves as thick as your arm. Scientists once thought it might have been a predator, but evidence suggests it was more of a gentle giant. Still, gentle or not, imagine standing face to face with a crawling creature taller than your waist. The prehistoric world didn't need monsters. Nature was already making them. Andrewsarchus, the beast with a skull like a battle axe. Roughly 45 million years ago, long after the dinosaurs vanished, a creature roamed the plains of Mongolia that looked like something out of mythology. Its name was Andrewsarchus, and it had one of the most fearsome skulls ever discovered. Nearly 3 feet long, with powerful jaws capable of crushing bone. It stood nearly 6 feet tall at the shoulder and may have stretched to over 12 feet from nose to tail. Though it looked somewhat like a giant wolf or hyena, it was actually related to early hoofed mammals, distant kin of sheep and hippos. Scientists still debate whether Andrewsarchus was primarily a scavenger or an active predator. Its teeth suggest it could crush shells and bones, implying a diet of carrion, turtles, or even large prey it caught itself. Whatever it ate, it did so with terrifying efficiency. Picture it stalking the Eocene coastline, scavenging carcasses left by the tide, its head swinging low and jaws dripping seawater and blood. Few animals would have challenged it. The massive skull and thick jaw muscles suggest a creature built for dominance. When its fossil was first discovered in the 1920s by American explorer Roy Chapman Andrews, for whom it's named, it shocked the scientific world. No one had imagined such a beast could exist between the age of the dinosaurs and the rise of humans. Even today, with only one complete skull ever found, Andrewsarchus remains an enigma, and a reminder that the age of monsters didn't end with the dinosaurs. Megatherium, the giant ground sloth. Sloths today are slow, gentle creatures that hang from trees, but their ancestors were anything but gentle. Megatherium, the giant ground sloth, was a towering behemoth that could reach over 12 feet tall when standing on its hind legs and weigh up to 4 tons. It roamed South America until about 10,000 years ago. Despite being a herbivore, Megatherium was a formidable presence. It had massive claws over a foot long, used for pulling down branches or defending itself. Standing upright, it could look a man in the eye or crush him with a single swipe. Some researchers believe it may have occasionally scavenged meat, though this remains speculative. Its slow gait hid its power. This was an animal strong enough to uproot trees, tear apart termite mounds of the size of small houses, and fend off predators like saber-toothed cats and dire wolves. For early humans venturing into South America, encountering a Megatherium in the wild must have felt like stepping into a world of giants. It went extinct around the same time humans spread widely across the Americas, suggesting that hunting may have played a part in its disappearance. But fossils show claw marks and bite wounds from fights that tell another story, one where the giants didn't go quietly. Arsinoitherium, the rhino that time forgot. In the ancient swamps of North Africa 36 million years ago, lived a beast that looked like something straight out of a fantasy novel. Arsinoitherium. Imagine a creature with the bulk of an elephant and the body of a rhino, sporting not one but 2 massive horns that jutted forward from its skull like spears. Despite its appearance, it wasn't a true rhinoceros. Scientists believe it was more closely related to elephants and sea cows, but in life it would have looked terrifying. Each horn could reach over 4 feet in length, and its bony face gave it a permanent scowl. It likely lived near water, feeding on soft vegetation and reeds. When threatened, Arsinoitherium may have used its horns to battle rivals or defend against predators like creodonts, fierce hyena-like carnivores that dominated the early African plains. Its massive frame combined with those deadly horns made it one of the most formidable herbivores of its age. To stand before one of these creatures would have been to witness raw, prehistoric power, a reminder that not all terrors had fangs or claws. Some simply crushed anything foolish enough to stand in their way. Direwolf, the real monster of the legend. Before HBO made the name famous, direwolves were real. They prowled North America and parts of South America until about 10,000 years ago. Heavier and more muscular than today's grey wolves, Direwolves weighed up to 150 pounds and hunted in packs. Their skulls were broader and their jaws stronger, allowing them to crush bone and tear through thick hides. Fossil evidence from the La Brea tar pits shows they often hunted alongside or competed with saber-toothed cats for the same prey. Their world was harsh, a frozen landscape filled with mammoths, bison and giant sloths. The direwolf was perfectly adapted to it. When they hunted, they likely used coordination and endurance, running prey to exhaustion before delivering fatal bites. But as the Ice Age ended and large prey disappeared, the direwolves vanished too. They were replaced by smaller, more adaptable wolves. Yet their legend lived on, in the bones beneath the tar and the stories whispered by early humans who heard their howls in the night. Terror birds, flightless, fearless and deadly. Long after the dinosaurs vanished, birds inherited the earth, and some of them decided to bring terror back. Meet the forest raccidae, better known as terror birds. These giant, flightless predators dominated South America from 60 to 2 million years ago. The largest species, Kelenken, stood nearly 10 feet tall, with a massive hooked beak capable of smashing skulls and bones. Its long legs gave it incredible speed. Estimates suggest it could run over 30 miles an hour. It didn't need claws or teeth. Its beak was enough. With one swing, it could kill smaller animals instantly. Terror birds hunted small mammals, reptiles, and anything else they could overpower. Their sharp eyesight and lightning-fast strikes made them the apex predator of their world, until the arrival of big cats and canines migrating from North America eventually ended their reign. Imagine walking across an open grassland, hearing the echoing thud of footsteps behind you, and turning to see a towering bird with eyes fixed on you. Its shadow alone would freeze you in place. Nature, for a while, gave flightless birds the throne, and they ruled with merciless efficiency. That brings us to the end of our video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more content.